Hello everyone, Minute Plus Meditation here, Tuesday, December the 19th. First reading is taken from the book of Judges. There was a certain man of Zorah of the tribe of Dan, whose name was Manoah. His wife was barren, having borne no children. And the angel of the Lord appeared to the woman and said to her, "Although you are barren, having borne no children, you shall conceive and bear a son. Now be careful not to drink wine or strong drink, or to eat anything unclean, for you shall conceive and bear a son. No razor is to come on his head, for the boy shall be a Nazarite. Nazarite to God from birth. It is he who will begin to deliver Israel from the hand of the Philistines." So we see the succession of these incidences down through salvation history when God will manifest his infinite power to help women who could not conceive to conceive. There will be interventions that we would say of the divine in the physical order. Clearly, and she was, I believe that Hannah was of an advanced age. So you've got the inability to conceive combined with advanced age, which is also going to be in the gospel with Elizabeth, to make it clear that it was a human origin in the sense that human beings had to cooperate, but they were well beyond thinking that this is natural, if you get my take on this, that this is just you and me, that we know we couldn't have a child, therefore God intervenes beyond the physical sort of mark, beyond that mark, the red line as it were, when a woman is no longer typically able to conceive. And God shows that he has not abandoned his people. He's actually done this this will be about the birth of Samson. And it's even interesting, if you think about it, that God chooses someone like Samson, who's not a perfect individual by any means. He will wind up giving his life for the Lord, but even then more out of showing vengeance on his enemies, rather than, being like a true righteous holy warrior. He's not a holy guy. He's chosen by the Lord. He does all sorts of immoral things, like lots of immoral things. But in the end, he does give his life for his people, by killing many of his enemies. So God has sometimes, as we would put it, a strange way of working, but he does bring about his purposes. God is faithful to his promises. Okay, over to the beautiful episode in the life of Zachariah and Elizabeth from Luke chapter 1, verses 5 to 25. It's a long gospel, so I'm only going to read certain sections of it. In the days of King Herod of Judea, there was a priest named Zachariah who belonged to the priestly order of Abijah. His wife was a descendant of Aaron, so this is a priestly couple, of the priestly caste. Both were righteous before God, living blamelessly according to all the commandments and regulations of the Lord. So good things, or tough things or difficult things, or you could say bad things, happen to very, very, very good people, in this case, holy people. It's not a black and white scenario where bad people suffer and good people don't suffer. No, we know it's all over the place, right? But they had no children because Elizabeth was barren and both were getting on in years. So they were well on in years. Probably in their 60s and 70s, perhaps, maybe even more. So Zechariah goes into the temple. He has the vision of the archangel. He doubts God's word and is basically shut up for 9 months of the pregnancy. Imagine you not being able to say not one word for 9 months. Some people are or their whole life, of course, but not being able to communicate for 9 months. And so when he goes home, his wife does conceive according to what God has said through the angel and John the Baptist. So who will be privileged to announce the Messiah. So the Messiah is already 6 months 6 months into the future, because the angel Gabriel will say to Mary, your cousin Elizabeth has conceived and born a son, so he speaks about John the Baptist. So this birth will result in the one who will announce the Messiah to the scene, as it were, to Israel. He will be the one to witness to Jesus and give his life for Jesus. because he will give his life for the truth. Not explicitly for Jesus, but certainly by witnessing to the truth, he will give his life. And Jesus will hold John the Baptist up as one of the greatest of all born of women. There's no greater than John the Baptist, right? So you and I, we're not John the Baptist. We're not going to perform something as stupendous or as significant as John the Baptist, but God calls us into this world for a specific purpose. You and I have a specific reason for existence. We need to find it, if we haven't found it already, and invest it for God's honor and glory. God will expect a return from you and from me, just as he expected one from John and got it. God bless you.